Montana looks like a dream, right? Mountains, rivers, wide open spaces. But here's the truth. There's some stuff that people don't really talk about until after you move. So let's break it down. The real Montana lifestyle, the good, the wild, and the inconvenient. Check this out. Now, getting your own space sounds great and all, but there are a few downsides to that. Once you get 20, 30 miles outside of the city, it gets very rural. There are very few people around, and if you need help and emergency assistance, that's going to be a half hour, 45 minutes away at best. Once you start getting out of town, the roads shrink. You have a 2-lane highway, traffic on either side, no guardrails, no nothing. So in the winter, the roads get slippery. They do a pretty good job of clearing the major highways and stuff, but many of the private roads do not get seasonal service. There's plenty of roads in Montana that are not seasonally accessible. So you need to be able to plan around that. Another thing is quick grocery store runs. If you just want to zip to the store, pick up some ketchup, that's not going to happen. You're going to need to plan out. It's going to be a half-hour drive one way, and then you're going to want to get as much stuff as you can and bring it on back. I see many people with the back of their truck filled with coolers. They go to Costco, and it's an entire day full of getting supplies for the next week or two. You're not going to get Uber, your deliveries from Amazon are going to take longer, and your life's just going to be a little slower. Now, that's maybe what you want, and the lesson here is Montanans are very self-sufficient. People that live out in the rural areas are very self-sufficient, and if you're going to come out and you're going to join us, be prepared to learn how to do some of these things and be prepared to face some of the elements. So now the third thing that people don't really talk about when moving to Montana is our wildlife. Now, they talk about it in the positive sense, right? We have world-class wildlife here. People come from all over to go to Yellowstone, to go to Glacier, and see these animals in their natural habitat. Now, that natural habitat is not just confined to the parks. It's all over our state. So when you move out to one of these rural areas, you are moving into these animals' natural habitats. So you're going to have some encounters with them. The deer are going to want to come and eat your flowers. You're going to have bears around. The cats, cougars, bobcats, they're shy, but they're still around and they're still dangerous. And bears, we've got them. Grizzlies, cinnamons, black bears, all of them. It's wild out here. You're going to need to secure your trash, to secure your food, keep your pets close, and maybe even learn how to use a little bear spray. Welcome to Montana. And the next thing we're going to talk about is everybody's favorite, which is the weather. It's not just cold here. It's unpredictable. We can have 50 to 70 degree temperature swings in a day. You can get sunburn one morning, and then the next morning it's snowing on you. Spring snowstorms can hit till May, early June. Summers are hot, dry. If we don't get enough snow and rain through the winter, we're prone to get fires and smoke and have a really hot, dry summer. The winters, they're long, but we need them to be long so that we don't have the fire seasons. They're cold, they're unpredictable, but it also fluctuates in temperature. It's gorgeous. We get plenty of sunny days, even with the snow on the ground. So we have the full range of weather. And the way you'll need to deal with it is you'll need some layers, you'll need some good tires, and you'll need a sense of humor because Mother Nature's always laughing at us. So you're good with the weather, you're good with the animals, and you're good with the commute. So now you're looking for that dream lot with no HOA, no covenants, and you can build whatever you want. You can have your chickens, you can have your farm, you can collect your rainwater, you can do all the great things that you've been dreaming about once you got away from civilization. The thing you've got to remember is that you will have some neighbors to some degree or another, and they're going to have the same freedoms that you do. They may not have the same standards that you do. They may want to have a scrapyard. They may want to raise cows, pigs, horses, goats, and that may not be something that you're okay with. So you have to keep in mind that there's no HOA to go to. There's no calling the city. There's just learning to communicate with your neighbors and peacefully resolve these situations or learn how to live with it. That's part of living with no covenants, though, is if you want freedom, you have to give it to your neighbor. Now, this leads me into my next topic of easements, water rights, and old boundaries or surveys. With some of these properties, there are easements, people that are allowed to cross your property. They've been using a road that's on your property for the last 50 years, and they're going to be able to continue using it based off of the historical usage. So there are water rights, there's different things that come along with these properties, things that you don't see on Zillow. You don't get them through the photos. You have to go and ask the right questions. You have to know these properties. You have to know what can convey with them and ask if it will convey. You have to understand what the land is capable of. If you have mineral rights, if you have springs, if you have running water, standing water, all these different things that go into creating value in the property. So that's what makes it important for you to have a wonderful representative that understands Montana and the pieces of property and the features that go along with it. Montana might not be what you think it is. It's not all Yellowstone ranches and luxury cabins. There's poverty, there's crime, and there's a lack of services in some of the towns. The culture is slow-paced, independent, but not always welcoming to change. Politics, you'll hear them often and you'll hear them loudly. So if you're coming from the big city, expecting a Hallmark movie, be ready for reality. People here work hard, they love their freedom, and expect you to respect the land and the way things are done here and the way they've been for years. Don't get me wrong, I love Montana. I live here, I raise my family here, I help the people here buy homes every day. But it's not for everyone, and that's okay. If you're still curious about making the move, I'll shoot you straight and talk to you about the reality, not the fantasy. Hit that follow button, drop a comment, or shoot me a DM if you have some more questions. Let's get real about your life in Big Sky Country.